3 weeks ago, my yard was in much distress. Going into the summer, I couldn't get it green. It's like I couldn't get enough water on it. It was completely dry. No matter what I did, no matter how long I ran sprinklers, I couldn't get any green to come up. And a friend of mine had talked to me about John's product, and I talked to John on the phone, and he came out and looked at it, and it's actually 3 weeks today, everything is just completely green. So we went on a trip. I worried this time of year because of the heat and the humidity, and I've had this yard for about 7 years now, and I've fought fungus for whenever the humid months come in. And with the early humidity this year, I was afraid that when we were gone for a week that I'd come home and have fungus and that. But I had a couple friends of mine, or a good friend of mine, coming over and checking it, and John came in and checked it, and I couldn't believe it. I was gone 6 days, and I'm just such a psycho about my yard. I've got friends of mine come over here and videotaping my grass and sending it to me so I can look at it when I'm 300 miles away, just to make sure it's okay. But everything's been great. It's nice and green, and product's amazing.
What are some of the things that you've tried to do before?
All the conventional fertilizers, you know, the name brand fertilizers, the nursery store fertilizers, everything. In addition to, you know, all the nitrogen that gets in here, I think that has a lot to do. Obviously, that has a lot to do with fungus and watering. But, you know, not to mention when your dog's outside and your pets. We're big pet people, and this is all natural, and it's not going to hurt your dog. It's not going to hurt your kids, and you can drink it if you really wanted to, I guess. But it's just we're just out of the whole you know, Walmart fertilizer bags and even the nursery bags. We're not doing any of that anymore.
Even when you were doing that stuff, did you get results?
We did see results. We did get results. It made it green, but the root growth was never as deep as this. You know, when we've got a dog, and if we get urine spots, I come out here with a piece of sod and I change it. I cut it out. And when we were using the commercial, or the big box fertilizer, I guess, if you want to call it that, the roots were, you know, a couple inches long. That was it. And now, if I come out and I'm digging or fixing a sprinkler head or whatever, the roots are 4 or 5 inches, and literally that's, you know, that's 3 weeks. It's insane.
What about after a rain? What do you notice?
After rain, it absorbs it even more, because I think it just drives the product deeper into the ground. But honestly, there really isn't a big change in since the rain hits or whatever.
What about, do you notice any kind of earthworms or anything?
Well, in that, when it does rain heavy, and we do get the monsoons through here, on our sidewalk and our patio, we'll get worms that come out, and you know, literally by the hundreds that just crawl out. So they're definitely in the soil and doing a good job of helping.
Any type of effects on any of the other trees or brush or anything like
We've
that?
seen we have pine trees planted here, and we have one lime tree that my daughter planted 7 years ago. But all the trees have seen new growth. Our pine trees have never looked better. The lime tree in particular, for John, when he was the last 3 weeks when he's been coming out, they've been dumping the residual out of the tank on it, and the lime production is probably triple what it typically is. There's new limes growing on it that we've never even seen before. When it's literally 3 or 4 times what we usually get out of a typical year.
For somebody who's on the fence about switching, what would your recommendation be?
Switch. Don't hesitate. It doesn't matter what the cost is. If you want a yard that is green and basically maintenance free, except for cutting it, and you don't have to worry about commercial or industrial fertilizer or big box fertilizer, whatever, this is the way to go. It feeds through your sprinkler system. It's idiot proof, and it's simple to use.